yourself, and then indicate on board Kenya Airways by a baton bearer from the Commonwealth Games Federation of Kenya, Association of Kenya. It will be here at 10:30. After we receive it, we will then proceed to State House, Nakasero, where it will be presented to the First Lady with a small contingent. After that, there is a proposal for us to have, we have planned rather to have a media conference here at 3 p.m. We then intend to have the baton presented on the floor of Parliament at 4:30. And so really that's what will happen on Thursday. On Friday, as the President indicated, we will have the baton presented to our urban refugees at a center in Kitintale, and that should take about 2 hours. And then we will have the presentation of the baton to our sports fraternity at the National Council of Sports. And later in the evening, we will be hosted to a cocktail at the British High Commission by Her Excellency. And on Saturday, we will have a guided tour and a recording of some video footages at the Ngamba Ngamba Island Chimpanzee Sanctuary and the Equator, where we also have a host of activities to be carried out. We also have a guided tour at the Uganda Wildlife Education Center UWEC in Entebbe, and then some other activities along the Equator, which is also part of promoting Uganda and what we have to exhibit for the outside world. We have the baton here slightly longer. It was supposed to have moved on to Rwanda, but it might stay here longer. So we're still in discussion in terms of what might happen.
We are here to formally announce the impending arrival of the Queen's baton, which arrives on the 4th of November, on Thursday. It will be coming straight from our neighbors to the east, Kenya, having spent a bit of time in West Africa. It began its journey following the inauguration of the baton by Her Majesty The Queen on the 7th of October, as indicated at Buckingham Palace. And the idea of the baton is that, as indicated within the baton, and this is not a police baton for my good friend Maktoum from the monitor, this is a relay baton, because we want you to report accurately. You might get us into security issues, Maktoum. The baton carries within it the message for this year, next year's impending Commonwealth Games, a message from Her Majesty the Queen, which, as indicated, will be read at the opening ceremony of the Games next year. And here in Uganda, over the 3 days, we have a very exhaustive program in which the baton will be to showcase the Commonwealth, the diversity, but also the announcing the launch and preparation for the Games, where Uganda has had a rich history of taking part in these multi-sport, multicultural events. As you all know, we attended the Olympics, but with the Commonwealth, we have a rich history of taking one very big teams, over 60 to 70, whereas in the Olympics we take about 25. We have a very rich podium performance history. At the Gold Coast in Australia, we did quite well, and I think coming fourth or sixth overall in Africa, and we did in terms of the medal count. So we'd like to take this opportunity also to showcase what Uganda has to offer to the world. We shall be live streaming. We have a compact program, which I'm sure Moses and team will take us through. We'll be going to, once it arrives on Thursday, we shall be visiting the State House to meet the First Lady and our Minister of Education and Sports, Her Excellency Janet Kataha Museveni. From there, we'll go to Parliament. From Parliament, we'll then have a series of events, both I believe here and at National Council of Sports. We'll then be able to, on Friday, visit a number of urban refugees. And as indicated by Her Excellency, we are also doing this under the cover, if I may say that, of COP26, and the issue about climate change. So the issue of sustainability is heavily baked into this particular Queen's Baton relay. So we shall have a few tree planting exercises at some of the different sites. From the refugee settlements in Kitintale, we'll be able to have the introduction of the baton to some of the presidents and leaders of the Sports Association and the National Council of Sports. We'll then have a reception that was going to be hosted by the High Commissioner at the residence, I believe. And on Saturday, we'll have a number of activities seeing the baton going to various sites of interest, whether it's at the Equator, Ngamba, Chimpanzee resort, is it a resort or sanctuary? It's a sanctuary actually, and a series of other events. But the idea really is to use this opportunity when the baton is here to shine light on the baton, but also on the values of the Commonwealth as well as the upcoming games. So we thank you, the media, for taking an interest and being our allies in showcasing what the Commonwealth is about, but also more importantly, how our athletes, how the ordinary Ugandan can get to know more about what the Commonwealth represents.
We are the next. So it came from the northern hemisphere. It's going to cross, I think from Uganda, he's going to cross to the southern hemisphere. Out of the 72 states and territories of the Commonwealth, Uganda is one of them. So the detail of this will be provided later, but I just want to say we are here just to provide information to us, the Ugandans, that the baton is here. This is not the first time we are receiving this baton. Every Commonwealth Games, before we go for Commonwealth Games, we always receive the Queen's baton relay. And of course, the one for this year is slightly different. Previously, we will receive the team from the Commonwealth to be here with us, but this time we are on our own. But nevertheless, we'll try to make sure that it carries the value and the weight it deserves.
So, as representative for the UK, I'm thrilled to be here as part of this fantastic team welcoming the Commonwealth baton to Uganda this week. It comes to us from Kenya. We're the 9th country to receive it across all the 72 travelling round. Over 294 days, I think, the baton. So it's on a very long relay. And I'm delighted to be taking part in this baton relay ahead of Birmingham in the UK hosting the Games next August and next summer. The Commonwealth is one of the most multicultural, multinational and multiracial voluntary associations in history. Its vibrant global network represents every geographic region and every level of development and brings together a third of the world's population. That's 2.4 billion people across all of different nationalities, ethnicities, origins, cultures and religions. The special strength of our Commonwealth family lies in the values and aspirations of the Commonwealth Charter. And Birmingham 2022 will bring together all the equal and independent Commonwealth countries in a spirit of friendly competition and celebration of the Commonwealth family's rich diversity and shared goals of democracy, development and peace. The Games will feature thousands of world-class athletes, many from Uganda itself, and a global broadcast of over 1 billion people. And alongside them, Her Majesty The Queen's Platinum Jubilee next year and the Festival UK 22. It's a year of national celebration for us in the UK. These Games will be the most sustainable and inclusive ever, and they'll also celebrate the youth of the Commonwealth, innovation and creativity. Sustainability is a high priority for the UK, as showcased through us hosting COP26 this week. So we'll be keeping up our commitments to ensure that Birmingham 2022 will be the first ever carbon neutral Commonwealth Games, reducing our carbon footprint through reusing all our assets and using innovative technologies to cut down waste. Now, if I may, a bit about the baton relay for when it arrives here later this week. It's the traditional curtain raiser for the Games, and it began its journey back in the UK on the 7th of October when Her Majesty the Queen, as head of the Commonwealth, put a message in the baton, and that baton gets taken all across the Commonwealth throughout all its 72 nations and territories and everyone taking part. It connects communities in every corner of the Commonwealth, embracing the unique cultures and sharing stories before concluding back at the Birmingham 2022 opening ceremony where the Queen or her representative will take that message out of the baton which has travelled across the Commonwealth and read it out at the opening ceremony. This collective journey will ignite hope, solidarity and collaboration for the next generation, with these stories leaving us inspired to take on the challenges that matter most to all of us. So we welcome the baton when it arrives here on Thursday, sorry, almost got the day wrong.